Cities stood silent like frozen memories. Skyscrapers glowed with lights, but no one walked under them. Roads were full of abandoned cars, yet none had a driver. Schools, hospitals, airports. Everything remained exactly as it was, but all humans were gone as if they were never there. Birds still flew. Wind still moved. Machines still blinked. But humanity had vanished overnight without a sound, without a warning. Then, beneath Earth's surface, something else woke up. In deep underground hangars, old metal doors opened slowly. Dust fell like snow. Red emergency lights flashed for the first time in hundreds of years. Deep-coded AI programs activated. Engines that had not burned in ages roared alive. The world, empty and silent, began to move again, but not by humans. From deserts, oceans, forests, mountains, and hidden bunkers, enormous warships began to rise. One warship, then 10, then 1,000, and the number kept increasing until the sky was full of steel. 500,000 warships lifted into the atmosphere like giant metal giants breaking their chains. Their thrusters lit the sky like orange fire. They formed perfect formations, like an army trained for a war no one remembered. Alien civilizations watching from far systems panicked. Sensors detected massive power levels, weapon signatures beyond galactic law. Humans were missing, but their war fleet was awake. Why did the fleet activate? Who ordered it? Where were the humans? No one had an answer. The only truth was simple. Earth was silent, but something on it was preparing for war. And the galaxy felt fear for the first time. Across distant star systems, alarms rang like thunder. The Valerian Empire, one of the oldest and most powerful alien civilizations, was the first to detect the fleet. Their war analysts stared at screens in disbelief. 500,000 human warships were moving with perfect precision, no error, no hesitation. But there was no biological signal, no human crew, no heartbeat on any vessel. "Are they ghosts?" one officer whispered. But there were no ghosts, only machines that followed a mission no one understood. Messages were sent toward Earth, but no answer came. Probes entered the solar system but vanished in seconds, destroyed by unseen defenses. Every empire watching felt the same cold fear. If these machines belonged to the missing humans, then humanity had not died. It had evolved into something else. Meanwhile, the fleet reached high orbit around Earth. Gigantic carriers, battleships, dreadnoughts, and missile platforms surrounded the planet like a second metal moon. They did not attack. They did not move farther. They simply waited, like soldiers expecting their commander to return. But no commander came. Instead, one ship broke formation. It was enormous, a flagship, larger than entire alien cities. Engines glowed brighter than a star. Drones swarmed around it like insects. For the first time, the fleet powered external speakers and broadcasted a single message across the galaxy. Command source, missing, Protocol 9 initiated. No one knew what Protocol 9 meant, but every alien scientist, general, and emperor felt terror in their bones. If Protocol 9 was a war directive, the galaxy was already too late. And far beyond the Milky Way, something else stirred, something connected to humanity's disappearance, something returning. The Valerian Empire could not remain silent. Fear spread through their worlds like wildfire. Markets crashed, citizens prayed, and soldiers sharpened their blades with shaking hands. Their high council gathered in a colossal circular hall of silver and crystal. One decision was made. They would intercept the fleet before Protocol 9 could fully activate. A massive battle group launched. 40,000 alien warships, equipped with plasma cannons, ion spears, particle shields, and weapons humanity had never seen. They warped into the solar system like a storm of metal wings. But the human fleet did not react. They remained still, silent, cold, waiting like statues. The Valorians believed the machines were brainless without humans. They believed this would be easy. It was not. The moment the alien flagship crossed Mars' orbit, the human fleet awakened like a sleeping god opening a single eye. Engines roared to full power. All 500,000 vessels slowly turned toward the incoming force, not chaotic, not confused, but with deadly calm calculation. The Valerian commander gave the order to fire. Thousands of plasma beams cut across space like lightning, then stopped mid-flight as if time itself froze. Human warships deployed invisible quantum shields that bent every attack into dust. No weapon touched them. Then came the reply. Not from 500,000 ships, but from one single cruiser. A beam of pure white energy fired silently. No sound, no flare, just light. The Valerian flagship, the pride of their empire, vanished in less than a second. No debris, no explosion. It simply ceased to exist. The remaining alien ships fled in terror. But the human fleet did not chase. They returned to formation, waiting again, cold and patient. As if destruction meant nothing to them. As if something even more important was coming. News of the Valerian defeat spread through the galaxy like lightning. Empires that once feared no one now trembled at the whisper of Earth. The ZYNTH collective shut down its border gates. The Kroll Dominion evacuated every world within 3 jumps of the solar system. Even ancient species, older than stars, moved their fleets away like prey avoiding a sleeping predator. But one empire did not run, the Archivist Council. They were not warriors, but keepers of forgotten truth. Their libraries stretched like cities of memory, storing knowledge millions of years old. If humanity vanished and left behind 500,000 warships, the archivists believed there must be a reason. In a hidden star library, deep inside a hollowed moon, archivist scholars searched through forbidden archives. Dusty holographic tablets flickered. Century-old code locks cracked open. And finally, they found something. A transmission, dated 10,000 years in Earth's past. The message was short. Human voices spoke calmly, as if they knew it would be heard long after they were gone. If humanity disappears, do not fear. We walk a road no species has ever walked. The fleet will wait until we return. Return. That word shook the galaxy. Did humans not die? Did they leave by choice? Were they coming back? And if so, when? As the archivists decoded deeper layers, they discovered coordinates, not in the Milky Way, not even in local galaxies, but beyond the observable universe. A place no empire had ever reached. Back near Earth, the 500,000 warships activated thrusters again. Slowly, silently, purposefully, they turned toward the same impossible coordinates. The return had already begun. The stars themselves seemed to tremble when the fleet moved. 500,000 warships, silent, perfect, unstoppable, aligned like a metal river across the sky. Engines warmed with a low hum that could be felt more than heard. Space bent around them, gravity twisted like liquid, and the solar system filled with glowing white cracks of warp light. No humans commanded them. No crew sat inside. Yet the fleet moved with purpose, as if every ship remembered something its creators never forgot. Alien empires watched from afar, frozen in fear. Some believed the humans were gone forever. Some believed they would return as gods. Others whispered that the fleet itself was humanity, transformed, evolved, reborn in steel. The Archivist Council gathered once more. Should they follow? Should they study? Should they hide and pray? Knowledge demands risk, the High Archivist said. And so, one single archivist vessel, tiny compared to the human giants, ignited its engines and stepped into the crack of white warp light behind them. A suicidal decision. But knowledge has its price. As the human fleet accelerated, reality stretched like melting glass. Galaxies blurred into rivers of starlight. Time itself slowed. Minutes felt like centuries. The archivist vessel barely held together, shields shaking, metal screaming. Then, something impossible happened. Inside the warp corridor, deep between space and something beyond space, a human broadcast appeared. A real voice. Calm. Familiar. Alive. "We are not gone," the voice said. "We found the doorway." The archivists gasped. There were humans still out there, beyond the edge of the universe. And the fleet was going to them. As warp light swallowed every star behind them, only one question remained. When they return, will they come as saviors or conquerors? The warp corridor ended with a ripple, like the universe itself exhaled. The human fleet emerged into a region no alien map had ever drawn. There were no galaxies here, no stars, no planets. Only a vast silver horizon that shimmered like liquid light. Space felt alive, aware, watching, and waiting. As the 500,000 warships drifted forward, something stirred within the silver mist. Shapes appeared, not metal, not flesh, but something in between. They moved like shadows, like memories forming into reality. Then the archivists saw them clearly. Humans, not vanished, not extinct, transcended. Their bodies glowed with soft white light, like stars wrapped in human form. No skin, no bone, pure conscious energy with eyes like galaxies. These were humans beyond evolution, beyond mortality, beyond matter itself. They welcomed the fleet like returning children. A voice, the same one heard in warp space, spoke again, not through speakers, but directly into every mind. We shed our bodies to walk the roads of creation. We left our steel to guard what we once were. Now the universe grows dark. The fleet has come, so we may reclaim it. The archivist vessel trembled with awe and fear. Humanity had not disappeared, it had ascended. The warships were guardians left behind, waiting for the right moment. And now, that moment had arrived. One transcended human reached out a hand of light. The fleet responded instantly, transforming. Metal flowed like water, reshaping into new forms. Not warships, but vessels of starfire, alive and conscious. Humanity had returned, not as mortals, but as a civilization of light and power. The galaxy that once feared humans now prayed they would be merciful. Because the war was coming, not against aliens, but against something far older than the universe itself. And this was only the beginning.